I heard about Ted Cruz and his wife and their struggle with their daughter right now. Beyond politics, beyond all of this stuff. Our children are in trouble. All of our children are in trouble. His daughter is in trouble, and he's not really speaking about it, so I'm not going to say anything. I don't know anything. But I can tell you that, as you know, if you've listened to this program before, I have had bouts of suicide in my immediate family with my children in the last few years. And I am still battling with that with my children. You might be too. And if you're a parent, I know what you're going through. You're worried, what could I have done differently? Is it me? What do I do now? It is a horrible place. Mental health and suicide is, it used to be a dirty word. Nobody wanted to talk about it. And now I feel like we're still not really talking about it. And it is everywhere. I wanted to talk to Jamie Kilstein today because he's got a podcast called Advice Not Taken. And he talks a lot about suicide and depression, and wanted to get him on today. Hi, Jamie. How are you?
Hey, man. How you doing?
Yeah, well, I'm good.
It's funny. I had jokes in my head about the politics of this and the people who have made this political. And after hearing your intro, I just want to, I didn't know you were going through that. And I think I'd rather open by talking about, I've been suicidal. I've been really close and recently. And I've talked to people who are dealing with the same thing with their kids. And I think the first thing I want to say to you as a friend and to people who are listening, whether it's them who's had suicidal ideation or it's their kids, is the sort of beautifully tragic, ironic part of everyone I've met who struggles with depression or suicidal thoughts is they are some of the coolest people I've ever met in my life, I've ever talked to. And they don't know that, and it's kind of our job to remind them of that. But it's oftentimes, man, it's the people who feel the hardest. It's the people who have the biggest heart. It's the people that we need more of. I mean, when you're struggling because you're so sad or you see the pain of the world and you don't know what to do and you feel so helpless, it's like, dude, you can't go anywhere. Like, we need more people like you. It's never the person who's like speeding to to cut you off in traffic, to go to the concert, to stand in the front row, even though he's 6'5". Like, that guy's going to be fine. He's going to like a vegan restaurant and chirotherapy and he's going to live forever. It's these it really is. It's these people who feel like they don't belong. And what I always try to remind them is like, dude, I want to be around people who feel like they don't belong. From your favorite musicians to everyone who followed Jesus, those were people who didn't belong. It's always the cool people. And the problem is, it is so hard to be different. And I mean, man, I can't even imagine growing up with social media, with the access to pornography, with all this stuff that kids have. I mean, I was a suicidal wreck, and I had access to like one Playboy in the woods that we all shared.
Right, exactly right.
And like pass it around like, divorced parents with joint custody. And, I'd have to wait till school to get bullied. I'm a 40-year-old man, and someone sends a tweet about something that's not true or calls me a name when I'm trying to talk about mental health, it's hard for me not to spiral.
I know.
But I think that's the most important thing I wanted to say is that, like, not the cliche, you know, hey, we're all God's children, life is precious. Forget all that right now. It's that, like, you specifically, you listening to this specifically, who doesn't want to be around, you are so much more special than you think you are, and you have so many more people backing you up than you think you do. And it's not just like, hey, hang out, you'll get through it. It's like, no. Get through it and then excel all of your wildest expectations for what you can do. Because I'm telling you, man, the people who feel that are special.
When you get through it, at least the first time when you get through it, you are on guard from it the rest of your life. Yeah. Because you figure out the first time that your brain can be your worst enemy, and when you go through a chemical depression. It's everything seems logical. All the ideas of suicide, it all seems so perfectly logical. And all of the excuses that you have made, you're not looking at them as excuses. They're absolutely real to you. And when you really hit the bottom, you really, truly believe the world would be a better place without you. And it's all a lie.
Yeah.
It's all a lie.
Dude, I'm so glad you said that, because it's not this, you know, when it's been real for me, it hasn't been this like, she broke up with me, I'm going to like Thelma and Louise myself off a cliff.
No.
It's been, you're right, this very like logical, like, hey man, like we give it the old college try, you know, like we did all the things, we made some mistakes, but like I thought we were on the right path and we were getting better, and it's still not working. I still, you know, whatever it is, I still can't find the person I'm supposed to be with. I still can't, you know, dig myself out of debt. I still can't forget the things I saw in war. I still can't, you know, get this bully off my back at high school, whatever it is. And you just go, yeah, like it would just, you know what it feels like, and this is horrible to say, the thought of it almost feels like a relief.
It does.
Where you just
it
go,
does, and in my case, it was my family will be better without me. I'm dragging everything else down. I'm this black hole that's dragging everything else down. First, with me at least, you blame everything.
Right.
And then when you realize none of those things are actually the problem, then you start to look in yourself and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm a black hole. And it's not only a relief from the daily pain that you're in, but it is in the end, it becomes almost a sacrifice for the good of others. And it's just insane. It's insane.
Yeah. Well, and I want to remind people listening right now that it's like everybody listening, I don't know what they think of me, but everyone listening is a fan of you as a person, not just as a radio host. And so when they hear you say that, they go, well, that's crazy. Look at how much good Glenn has done and has tried to do or whatever. But then there's still a part of them that goes, yeah, but I'm different. And what I want you to say is like the way you look at you, Glenn, when you talk about it, is the way other people look at you. You know, Robin Williams was one of my closest friends. And, you know, that was not a person I expected to get a phone call about when he died. Now, there were medical issues and stuff happening behind the scenes, but still, you know, he thought it would make the world better or his family better. And it's like, I mean, people still come up to me rocked about what happened to him. I still think about him on a daily basis. And it's like, why are you different? Anyone listening, like, how are you different? You still have something inside you that other people love, that other people need. And I know it feels like you don't, but like, man, I'm telling you, everybody you look up to, like, they've had the exact same thoughts that you have. We're just better at pretending that it doesn't exist. And especially around the holidays, again, on social media, I feel like every time I open up Instagram, I'm just like, are all of my friends hotter than me and having kids and families and giant Christmas trees? And like, and you start to feel like you don't belong. But like all of those people, one, I mean, Instagram's a lie, but two, also follow me on Instagram because I'm definitely shadow. It's at the Jamie Kilstein. Please just give him an old FU and follow me.
Right.
But it's really hard where it's like, man, the negative stuff on social media makes me feel negative. Then the positive stuff on social media makes me feel like I don't have enough. And you have to remember that, again, everyone you look up to not only has had thoughts like this, not only has dealt with depression and their own demons, but also like they've struggled. And what got them to that picture you're looking at right now is pushing through the struggle. And then guess what? Not only are you better, but now you're armed with what me and Glenn have, where you can now help other people who are going through it. And you can go, hey, man, I was there too, and I'm telling you, you're going to be okay. And like, what a gift that is to literally be able to save people's lives because of the lowest moment of your life.
Jamie Kilstein, the host of Advice Not Taken, a comedian that has kind of taken hiatus from a lot of that and is just still naturally funny. But he is concentrating on advice not taken and concentrating on things of the spirit and the soul and health. Jamie Kilstein, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thanks, brother. Talk good.
You bet.